You look at the NFL playoff picture, and you do think the 12-3 Denver Broncos are sitting pretty for the top seed in the FC, but ESPN Supercomputer is waving a giant red flag. After a stunning 34-20 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Football Power Index shows the Broncos are suddenly on shaky ground for that first-round bye. So, how does this all work? What exactly is this supercomputer? It's ESPN's Football Power Index, or FPI. Think of it as a predictive rating system that simulates the rest of the season thousands of times. Some reports say 10,000, others say 20,000 to figure out every team's chances. That's what makes these final weeks so insane. With only 2 weeks left, every single game is a potential season shaker. Entering week 16, they looked like the class of the conference. Then they ran into the Jacksonville Jaguars and got dismantled 34-20 at home. That loss was catastrophic. While they still technically hold the No. 1 seed over the Patriots via a tiebreaker, their grip is anything but firm. So why the sudden panic? It's not just the loss itself. The FPI isn't just looking at the win-loss column. It's crunching their remaining schedule and all the complex tiebreaker scenarios. The computer sees a vulnerability that their 12-3 record doesn't show. They're not just spoilers. They are legitimate contenders. Riding a dominant 6-game winning streak, the Jags are now 11-4. Just a few weeks ago, this was unthinkable. Now, after that statement win in Denver, the analytics are screaming that they are one of the most dangerous teams in the league. They represent the kind of surge the FPI is designed to catch before anyone else sees it coming. Beyond the top seed, the wild card race is a total mess. Teams like the Chargers and Bills are also sitting at a formidable 11-4, fighting for seeding and creating a massive logjam in the standings. Meanwhile, some teams expected to be in the hunt are already done. In a shocking downfall, the 6-9 Kansas City Chiefs have been mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. For them, and for other teams out of the running, the focus has brutally shifted from Super Bowl dreams to draft position. It is an absolute traffic jam at the top of the AFC. The Broncos are holding on for dear life, the Patriots are right on their heels, and the Jaguars are surging. Who do you trust? Do you think the FPI is right to be skeptical of the Broncos, or will they bounce back and lock up that top seed? Let me know your take in the comments below. Alright, let's head over to the NFC, where things are somehow even more dramatic thanks to a bitter divisional war. Just last week, the Los Angeles Rams held the number 1 seed in the NFC. They looked like the team to beat. Then came Thursday Night Football. In an instant classic, the Seattle Seahawks pulled off a miraculous overtime victory. With that single win, the Seahawks seized control. At 12-3, they are now the number 1 seed and have clinched a playoff berth. Their path is crystal clear, win their final 2 games, and they'll have home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. They control their own destiny. But here's the wild part. That lead is hanging by a thread. While they have the top spot now, the FPI shows just how fragile that can be. A single slip-up in the final 2 weeks could see their odds of keeping that bye week plummet, potentially throwing the top of the conference back into chaos. They are a powerhouse walking on a tightrope. And what about the Rams? After that soul-crushing loss, they've fallen from the top spot all the way to the No. 5 seed. It's a steep drop for a team that looked like a Super Bowl favorite. For teams that have been eliminated, this is their Super Bowl. And it gets better. In Week 17, the Raiders host the Giants in a game that could ultimately decide who gets the top pick. Just behind them is a trio of 3 to 12 teams, the Cleveland Browns, Tennessee Titans, and New York Jets, all hoping for losses that feel like wins. And the stakes couldn't be higher. We're talking about quarterbacks like Oregon's Dante Moore or Indiana's Fernando Mendoza, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, who are both seen as potential top picks that could change the entire trajectory of a franchise. So there you have it. The final 2 weeks of the NFL season are a chaotic storm of possibilities, and ESPN's FPI gives us a roadmap through the madness. The analytics are telling us 3 wild stories. First, the AFC's top seed is a toss-up between a stumbling Broncos team and the Patriots, with the Jaguars lurking as a dangerous dark horse. Second, the Seahawks have seized control of the NFC, but the Rams' sudden fall to a wild card spot shows how one game can change everything. And finally, the race for the #1 draft pick is heating up, with a showdown between the Raiders and Giants looming that could determine who lands a future superstar. Looking ahead to Week 17, that Raiders-Giants game is an absolute must-watch for draft implications. But the game with the biggest playoff impact might just be in the AFC, where every result for the Broncos, Patriots, Jaguars, Bills, and Chargers will send ripples through the standings. What do you think will happen? Will the computer's predictions hold true? Be sure to subscribe for our final Week 18 breakdown. We'll be tracking the FPI leave to see who ultimately collapses and who claims their spot in the postseason.